What is?
Oh my God! It's Ryan
Ah!
Kalkbrenner.
Oh my God! Oh, Ryan Kalkbrenner's here.
Hey.
Ebo, stand up and greet
No,
us.
no.
Okay, you got me Ryan Kalkbrenner for my baby shower?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Connor, nice to meet you.
What's up, man?
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan. Welcome.
all this stuff.
Chaotic day.
Good. Goodness.
Oh my
Just
God.
right here.
Right on
Right
the
here.
Sit next
Yeah.
to the
The tallest guy.
Sit
yeah.
directly next to Ebo.
But you know, we don't have.
He really is getting
We
right.
don't have
He
to
really
do
got
this
an ice
game.
cream cone. That's incredible.
Yeah, he did. Do you want some bacon or a cream pie?
I'm okay.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's Ryan Kalkbrenner.
It is. Ryan Kalkbrenner sitting right there, eating the hell out of some ice cream, by the way.
I heard about the new ice cream machine. I had to.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
swing by. You're in you're in Chicago for draft stuff. What is your how long you been here? What does that look like? What does that entail? What does getting ready for the draft mean? Exactly.
I've been here for like a month and a half. Well, the last few weeks I've been traveling a ton for NBA workouts, but literally you just wake up every morning, work out, prepare for what these workouts with NBA teams are going to be like, and then once you do that for a couple weeks, you do a combine, and then head out to these NBA teams and work out for them. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Ebo, let's talk about your posture right now. You are really stretching it out. You are trying your best. You're doing pretty good, to be honest.
trying to
Oh, that's
compete.
not bad.
Yeah, I gotta
Not
lean
bad.
forward. I think. To compete
Yeah,
a
do you
little
want to?
bit.
I mean, while we're here, Ebo, you want to go ahead and
I'll say
Ryan
it.
what you said on the show
Yeah.
last time.
I don't even.
Last time I think we talked about you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ebo brought you up.
I said,
and,
I was walking through Jewel Osco and I was shopping and I looked up and you were just right in front of me and I did a double take and I was holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I had a lot of people.
Yeah, do you remember?
I got a lot of people that stop me
Yeah.
when I go out. So
Well, I didn't want to do that, but I did text the group chat and said, I don't know if he's a true 7 feet, which is a problem.
You had a 5'3" man spot you in a grocery store and
he's
size
not
you
7
up
feet.
and say he's not 7 feet.
I don't know about that.
Ebo,
And now I
just watched him walk in the door.
I have to lay in the bed that I have made for myself.
I just shook his hand. I'm pretty sure he's
Yeah.
7 feet.
Yeah, okay, well, he's like 7'2", and I'm like 6'1".
I don't know how his. How did that?
At some point, we do need you both to
Nah.
stand up
Back to back.
back to
We
back
gotta
to
do
see who's
that.
taller
We
at
gotta
some
do
point. So this season, you opened the season. You scored 49 points.
Mm-hmm.
You were 20 for 22 from the field. What else did you grabbed a fuck ton of rebounds if I remember right too, because you always did every single game you played. You get done with a game like that. Is that just are you just like am I God after a game like that? Because I remember watching. You're hitting threes. You're 2 for 2 from 3, and that's the opening game of the season for you this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like a ton of pressure moving forward as that game is unfolding? Are you aware of like a historic game you're putting up? What goes into a game like that mentally?
I didn't know how many points I had. I knew I was scoring a lot, but I didn't know I was so close to 50 until after the game. But honestly, after the game was over, I was like, I hope I don't got to score 50 points every game for us to win.
Yeah, because it was actually like a kind of a close game, right?
Against UTRGV, and like they're a good team, but for our standard, I shouldn't have had to score 50 for us to win. But it was definitely a good way to start the year. But yeah.
In the NBA draft lead up, are you working on perfecting things in your game? Are you trying to add more? Like I know you average like 2 threes a game this year. Taking. You going to stretch that out, or what's the look for you?
It's just like fine tuning a lot of stuff. I mean, the shooting's going to come because I didn't really start shooting in games till my junior year of college, so that just takes a little time to get comfortable in live stuff and whatnot. But it's just a bunch of fine tuning stuff because you're not going to reinvent who you are as a player in a month, and NBA teams don't want to see you be reinvented. They know who I am. They just want to see that I'm good at what I do. So just fine-tuning what I'm already good at, and yeah.
Has anyone ever played at Creighton that can't shoot?
That's a great
I don't think
question.
so.
I honestly don't know.
I don't think so.
if
I
there's
think
like
you've got to be a
single guy.
shooter.
You have to be able
Just
to
put
shoot.
the uniform on, you can become a shooter. How much, like, so you obviously played 4 years at Creighton, and we're living in a time where college sports is all about the transfer portal and guys moving and all that sort of thing, and you're obviously one of the best players in the country, and I'm sure you had opportunities to leave. How much did you ever, not that you had one specific school in mind, but how much did it ever enter your mind after you're 4-time defensive player of the year in the Big East? I'm sure at some point somebody, one of your friends, somebody must have been like, Ryan, you could maybe test the market and see what's out there. But when I thought of you, I was like, this guy's Creighton through and through and through. How did you? Why were you so committed to Creighton, I guess? And did the thought ever enter your mind of like, see what else is out there? Or were you just like, this is where I belong and I've had great success and I don't need to go anywhere?
Yeah, it was just, I love it there. I love the coaches. I love my teammates. I met my wife there. Like, I really had no reason to leave. So, honestly, when it came to end of the year, the transfer portal and whatnot, that never crossed my mind really ever because I had no reason to leave. And I was getting better. I was improving.
Did you still get harassed by people like trying to like what does that look like for? Because those of us that aren't in it, we just assume that like every player that's kind of good, like their life kind of sucks once the season ends because everyone's just bothering them.
No, I mean, I don't really do social media, and I keep my circle really small. So, I mean, the people who are in my circle know who I am and know that I'm not going anywhere. So I really didn't have a problem with people bothering me about all that. I just do what I do, and no one really asked me to leave.
Is it more fun to block a shot or dunk on someone?
Block a shot. In my opinion, I'm a defensive guy. I like blocking a shot.
Very good defensive.
I was going to say dunk on someone. In my experience in high-level college basketball, it's dunk on someone.
Dunk on someone?
Yeah. I mean, I do both. Both is fun, but I just, for my experience only, it's dunking on someone.
4-time defensive player of the year in the Big East.
Yeah.
You know the other guy, there's only one other guy that's done it.
Patrick Ewing didn't stay long enough, right?
I'll give you a hint. He has not been on the show. We've only got one of the two on the show.
Hashim Tabit.
Oh, that's a good guess. Alonzo Mourning.
No.
Luke Schenscher.
It was Patrick Ewing.
It was Ewing. I didn't know he stayed for 4 years.
Stayed for 4 years.
Huh.
So what was your recruitment like to Creighton? Did you Creighton to me is one of those teams that no matter how good or bad, you're never bad. There's never really like a bad Creighton team, but no matter how good, bad, or otherwise, and you were on some really, really great Creighton teams, they're always going to be fun. Every Creighton, you know, going into any I don't even know what the roster is going to look like next year, and I know that when I turn on Creighton basketball, it's going to be a fun watch. Is that something that you, one, feel when you're in the program, and two, like when you're being recruited, does that even enter your mind at all that like that seems like a fun program and everybody can shoot and like people seem to love watching Creighton play basketball?
Yeah, it definitely played a role in my recruitment. I'd say looking back on it as like a 17, 18-year-old trying to make that decision, you think you know play styles and what you fit in as a high schooler, but you don't really know until you get there. But once you get in and be a part of that system, it's just a lot of fun. Like Matt gives you a lot of freedom on offense to just kind of play and do what you want, and as long as you're making the right reads. And, you know, he really only gives you a few rules that you have to play by, and if you play by those rules, you can do whatever else you want. So once you get in, earn a little trust from him, then it's a lot of fun to play in.
I want to talk about Omaha. Yeah. Can we talk about Omaha, Nebraska?
Talk about Omaha.
I've been there. Spent 10 days there once with TJ right over there. We
14, more than 10.
14, whatever. Yeah. We were there for a while.
We're there for a little bit.
What's your favorite steakhouse in town? Because we rode out to the Drover. It was really good. But there's some great ones downtown, too. It's full of great steakhouses.
Yeah, Jay Gilbert's downtown was one of my favorites.
I ate there. It was great.
Mahogany is a little more out west.
I didn't get to eat there.
If you go back there, you got to go to Mahogany. 801 Chop House is always good. But, like, Mac's a big steak guy, so we went to a steakhouse like before every game.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
I would do that, too.
We were lucky.
Yeah, I would be huge. I also, best breakfast restaurant I ever had in my life was in Omaha, Nebraska, and I can't for the life of me remember the name. It was it wasn't in downtown. You had to drive. It was like in a neighborhood, and it was amazing. Best hash browns ever had.
All right, that's a good plug.
Yeah. So if you're in Omaha,
shout out random restaurant.
If you're in Omaha and you want hash browns, go to a neighborhood and just keep driving till you find it.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. That's all I can say.
Who's the GOAT of Creighton basketball? It's Doug. It's got to be Doug, right?
Yeah,
but it was Kyle Korver before Doug, right?
Kyle before.
But you're probably on the Mount Rushmore now. I'm going to put you on there, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
Mine.
Do you have the keys to Creighton Mount Rushmore?
I think it's Doug McDermott. I think it's Kyle Korver. I think it's Ryan Kalkbrenner, and I think it's Ethan Rogge for the game against Villanova. Do you remember that? You weren't on the team, but
I wasn't on the team. I know.
Do they talk about that? Like, if I feel like Ethan Rogge. I don't even know if the guys in the room are aware of this game.
No.
Ethan Rogge against Villanova,
like 11 straight threes.
One of the most all-time insane performances in a basketball game I've ever seen in my life. I feel like you guys should talk about that in that program like once a week. Like somebody should bring it up. So like Coach McDermott should show it in film and just be like, "This is what we're trying to do, boys." As a reminder, this is what we're trying to do out
Just
there.
make threes.
Just make threes.
Make threes.
Gus
yeah.
Johnson was on the call, just like orgasming like crazy every time he hit. Look that up. Those of you at home, go Google
What was his name?
YouTube. Ethan Rogge.
I don't remember that.
WRAGGE.
Yes.
What was it, like 2014 maybe? 20.
Something like
Dollar beer night at Creighton.
It's awesome.
You guys feel it as players, like you
Yeah.
feel like when you know it's coming, like you feel like there's a buzz in the air.
You just know the crowd's going to be a little bit
A
different.
little loose.
Especially, I think we had the UConn game was our dollar beer
Yeah.
night this year, and that was the perfect game to do it because our fans do not like UConn.
They don't like UConn. That was the Creighton game this year is when Dan Hurley said 2 rings.
The rings
Baldy.
deal,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah,
When he's
yeah.
walking
Walking off
back in,
court,
yeah.
yeah.
2 rings, Baldy. Do you guys feel like you fit in the Big East at this point? Because that was, like when the shuffle happened and the Big East kind of blew up, and then the new iteration of the Big East formed. There were some head scratches of like Creighton, a team in Omaha in the Big East. That doesn't make any sense. But now for me, like as an outsider, I watch Big East basketball, and you obviously are good enough.
Yeah.
But do you feel culturally like Creighton belongs in the Big East, or are you guys the redheaded stepchild in Madison Square Garden at the Big East tournament area?
Probably the redhead stepchild a little bit. Like geographically, it makes no sense whatsoever. And so yeah, we're a little bit different in that way. But obviously, we've played.
Your fans are too nice.
Basketball-wise, you
Those are
belong,
nice.
though.
Basketball-wise, they fit.
we're
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah.
good enough. We've been
Yeah.
really good.
Basketball-wise, they fit.
I think they're a great fit
Are-
basketball-wise.
Your fans too nice? Is that it?
Probably a little nicer than the Providence fans for sure. The Providence
Yeah.
fans are mean.
Are they the
Providence fans are.
They're the ones?
They get after you.
They get after it, huh?
Yeah, we had I can't remember, it was my freshman or sophomore year. They threw a beer can on the court at the end of the game, just because.
Just one?
Just one.
That's not that
but
bad.
It was full though. So
Okay.
Were you a hated guy in the Big East when you go on the road? You personally?
at UConn, definitely.
UConn hated
definitely
you?
at UConn.
Did you feel like you were a villain being
Yeah.
so good for 4 years? I mean, it's hard to stick around in college basketball and not build up some animosity with opposing fan bases.
Yeah, I definitely think I had that. I know for a fact. I think my junior year, some of our managers were walking around before the game and found some UConn fans just waiting for the game that just had signs that said, "I hate Ryan Kalkbrenner."
Is that a sweet-ass feeling?
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
really
Why do they
sweet.
hate you so much?
Because when I was younger, I didn't know how to handle the media so good, and I might have made some comments dissing UConn a little bit.
TJ, find those comments. Let's see these comments. Find the comments.
He might. No, he said he might have made them.
Let's assess.
He didn't say he made them. He said he might have made them.
Let's assess. Let's see if Try
Yeah.
to find the comments.
We don't know if he made them or not. He might have made them.
May or may not have made them. Maybe you'll find them.
Probably did,
Maybe
if we're being honest.
They probably got him confused with somebody else. I mean,
Well, since
Yeah,
you're here, and
like anyone else around here.
we got a producer looking it up, but you could just tell us what were the comments. What do you have to say about UConn back in the day?
Well, it was going into my junior year. We were 5-0 against UConn, and I was doing an interview, and someone was like, "Do you think UConn has your games circled on their schedule?" And I was like, "Well, if I was 0-5 against the team, I'd have that game circled."
Yeah.
that's that's facts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just facts.
Yeah.
Which, all seriously, I have a ton of respect for UConn. I probably just could have worded that a little
Okay.
better, be more respectful.
And that was before you had the media savvy to not say that.
Yeah.
Dan Hurley kind of came back at you too.
He did.
With no idea what he's still doing in college.
Dan Hurley, off the court, Dan Hurley is actually a chill guy, but during the games, man, he's wild.
Does he talk shit to you guys while he's playing?
Occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad.
Not that big of a deal.
I'll be damned.
All right. Well,
Hold on, real quick. And I don't mean to step on your toes. I just have to ask him a question. You think a horse could play basketball?
A horse?
Yeah, a horse.
No,
Why not?
it doesn't have hands. Can't shoot.
That's a good point.
Good point.
That's a damn good point. You think a horse could play any other sport, say like baseball?
Baseball? No.
Well, I'll ask you to take those headphones off that mic and put them on, please. But you need to
Yeah,
put
you're
those on.
gonna- Ryan, you're going to need to see this.
Yeah, we got something for you to
Need
see. It's
This is important.
we knew you were coming today, and we wanted to show you kind of who we are
Okay.
as a show. So can you just watch this, and afterwards we'll get your reaction? Appreciate that. Now, there's a horse. That's Mr. Ed.
Sandy Koufax, Ryan. He's a Hall of Famer.
He didn't need hands there.
Right into the gap, Ryan.
Speeding.
I don't believe it. I mean, you know what? I think a horse could play DH.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now your thoughts about a horse playing all sports. Like that changes everything, does it not?
It changes a little bit. Yeah.
Why the fuck do we do that?
It's enlightening. Right? Yeah. Who knows? He might go interview some NBA teams and be like, "I'm trying to be the Mr. Ed of the NBA." You know, or maybe it changes.
Like the 70-year-old owner's
Yeah.
like, I like
Yeah,
this kid.
I like this kid. I like his moxie.
Where does that rank among like weirdest questions you've gotten in interviews? Like, have you gotten anything that just like threw you for like a crazy loop, either with like a team or media?
No, that's the craziest.
Okay.
Not even close.
Do they do that really? Because you hear a lot of stories of the NFL teams and NBA teams and whatever else. Like when they're interviewing the athletes, they'll just ask them insane questions of just like, you know, if a bus is traveling to Wichita at this speed, was your mother a prostitute? You know, and you're like, what? Was that Des Bryant?
Yeah.
Am I remembering that right? And then those stories get published of like I got asked this question in an interview and it was like fucking great. Have you experienced that? You don't have to name names or anything, but like do you experience like you get out of an interview and you're like, why did they ask me that? What was that?
I haven't gotten one. I know some people that got like, how many basketballs fit in this room?
Wait, they got like the consulting question?
Yeah, they just.
They just want to see like how you think through the problem.
Yeah, the other.
So that's a real. As far as you know,
thing.
that's like a real thing.
Hold on, Mark.
Yeah.
Hold on, Mark.
Actually getting these questions.
Ryan, how many basketballs fit in this room?
Let's see. You probably. I don't know.
There's
One.
one for reference.
There's one signed by Cody Rhodes twice.
You're gonna have him sign.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes signed this twice.
I'm gonna say. It's got to be at least like 1,000, over 1,000.
1,000. Huh? That seems like he's probably. I don't know. There's no way to know.
There's no way. No.
Oh, what is your plan on draft night? Do you have a plan? Do you know? You said you have a tight circle. Is it like?
Yeah. So we're just gonna do like a small deal at this lake in Iowa and just have a small family, close friends, and just do that. Right. Yeah, it's nothing special. Like I'm not a fancy guy. I don't want to do like a big party.
You have like a fit. You're thinking.
No, probably just shorts and a t-shirt.
Really? Just look like you're bothered when you get drafted. Look, just be like, all right.
This is an inconvenience.
Yeah, like,
Also, wear like swim trunks.
yeah.
I might be. We'll probably be on the boat all day before that. So.
Yeah.
When the GM calls you, say this could have been an email. Just be like, come on, man. I'm with my family right now.
Come on.
Man. We're trying to have a thing here.
Forget about it,
Right. What are we doing? Ryan, thanks for joining us. Before you go, we do have to, unfortunately, Ebo, we are going to need you on camera to go.
Well, we do this with all our guests.
We do this with all our guests.
You got to go back to back.
Got to go
with
back
Evo.
to back with Ebo, just for the camera,
yeah, we
just
gotta
to
do
see
that.
who's taller. We have to see. Ebo said you're not a true 7-footer.
Just go like. Another.
We have to see who's taller.
I'm just gonna get another picture for safety.
I got one over here.
All right, you got that one over there.
many angles, I think, for that.
All right.
His head's hitting the light.
Hey, go back to back, Ebo.
Yeah,
Go back
just-
to back.
just-
Just see who's. Let's just get a good look at it.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's got you by a little.
No. Off those toes. Off those toes.
Ryan, if you want to get on.
That's 6'1", right?